So today we're looking at packaging an action figure or wrestling figure as I've got here, which I've recently sold on eBay. Only made a couple of pounds on him, despite the fact that he is an elite figure. Doesn't sell for much, but I'm glad to see it gone. But before I show you how to package it, I think it's quite important to explain why I'm doing this video, because it should be quite obvious on how to successfully package an action figure. So get rid of him for a second and bring on this figure, which I got in the post a few months ago. Now, on the eBay listing, it looked absolutely fine, and I bought it as part of a bundle, so all of the bundle looked fine to resell. And I get it, and as you can see here, there are some indents also on the front. Now, none of these were present in the photos, and if we have a look at the head, it looks fine, but if you just move it back a little bit, you can see the head is actually coming off. Again, not something that was in the listing, and from what I remember, the photo looked absolutely fine. Now, the reason why I believe this happened is because a few wrestling figures were sent at the same time without any padding, but worst of all, it was sent in one of these. So if you are a eBay reseller, or even if you just sell a few things from home, these bags are great for small clothing items, potentially some other, toys that are unbreakable, teddy bears, that kind of thing. But for something like this, especially when you're putting a few into one bag, it's just not a good idea, because as you can see, it's in there now. As soon as the postman picks up a heavy box, puts it on there, it's gonna get squashed. If, say you put it in and the arm is up like that, box goes on it, and then the arm is potentially going to get broken as well. Gets dropped onto the surface, and damage is going to happen, and also the figures are going to rub into each other if there's no further packaging. Now, if you wrap it in bubble wrap and put it in one of these, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that, but you are going to give it more protection than if you just put it plainly in one of these. And I don't play with these figures, it is purely for reselling. But if I was to have bought this for myself, or I had children and this happened, then if we just put a little bit of pressure on it, the head is gone. So yeah, that is now useless, and it was useless before, because there's no way I could resell that unless I sold it as spares and repairs. But if breaking it lets you see how not to package an item, then I'm going to break it. So that is now going to go. So back comes the Dolph Ziggler figure, and we are going to package it. Now, you don't have to package it in one of these, but my sort of best practice is a pizza box. This one is an 8-inch pizza box, so it comes flat, but you just make it up like this. So it's really easy. Once you've done it a couple of times, it's literally something you do without even thinking. So there we go, pizza box. And if we put Ziggler into the box, and of course we're going to put some padding in there, don't get me wrong, but now when we do that test, when a heavy box goes on it, the figure is not going to get damaged unless it's literally like a 50 kilogram box just being dropped from a height. But even if you put a heavy box on this, it's not gonna smash or get crushed, because it is a strong box, even though it's quite thin. But the build of it, the way it's built, makes it strong. Now, of course, we want to get some padding on there anyway, because we don't just want it going around like that. So if we pull them out, what we've got here, and you can realistically use parcel paper, but I have some flip chart paper that I saved from being thrown out of an office at some point. So roll them up in that, fold one end and the other, and having a nice little package there. Now, as you can see, there's still room, and it is still potentially, obviously it's paper's high enough for it not to be moving around, but it's still potentially going to move around if you don't use as much, if you're trying to preserve the paper you've got. I use this willingly as it's free, but if I paid for it, I might use a little bit less. So, and also just to fill the space up, we've got some newspaper. So normally it should be one there, and one there. So now we close the box up. It does mean that, of course, because the newspaper is kind of pushing against it that's going to open, but we're not going to worry about that because we have tape. So again, the taping is quite important. It's what I see sometimes with boxes like this, and I've got the tape here. People will literally just grab it, put it across the middle and wrap it around 10 times, do it the other way as well, and you're going to use a lot of tape. And whilst tape is cheap, wrapping it like that, you're probably still only going to spend, you know, say 10-20p on tape. But in this instant, like with this figure where I'm only actually going to make a couple of pounds in terms of profit, I want to make sure that the profit is, you know, the profit stays as much as possible, but I also want to make sure, as I've just demonstrated, that the figure gets there in one piece. So basically, to stop yourself from spending stupid amounts of money on tape, just enough to kind of go across the front there. So we'll put it on hopefully quite equally. Now we put it down here, and this brings, so rather than just having it enough to go across the top, we've got a bit going down the side because it brings it all together. If we then pop that up, we are going to push that there, and same with the other side. And that just means that like every side, like the top, the bottom on this front, but also the sides are all brought together. And then we're going to pull that down and just stick it there. Now that's not very neat because I was looking at my screen rather than the box, but normally it's much neater than that. And we're just going to do the same thing on each of the sides. So just get the tape. I don't have a tape gun, I probably need to get one, but here we go. So now get this bit's a bit longer. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's a little bit longer, you just don't want it too long. So there we go. This one does come out, sometimes you are going to get it where it comes right to the bottom a little bit. So, but again, we just get that up there a little bit. You can kind of stick it to the box or you can stick it to the tape, it doesn't really matter. Put the tape on like that. This one will actually stick to the box just to demonstrate that, you know, it's fine either way. I mean, it doesn't look too neat, but it is, at the end of the day, going to stay strong. And then just the last side. And here we go. So that there is like the perfect size because it's not actually going over the bottom there, it's just stopped. And again, looking through the camera, screen I should say, so not the neatest there. And I'm not going to do this, but if you've got, sometimes I'll have like, you know, 3 or 4 wrestling figures in one of these. The maximum, this is an 18-inch pizza box, the maximum you're going to fit in there is 4 wrestlers. So, you know, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 roughly. Sometimes you might just want to grab another sort of length of tape and just stick it from like this bit here all the way across the front to the bottom, just to kind of hold it down. But as you can see, this is pretty sturdy. I can, you know, I'm not actually holding the tape at any point here, and I can shake it and it's not going to come off. You know, it's really sturdy. And again, especially now that we've got the packaging in there, the newspaper and the flip chart paper, you're literally not going to be able to damage this wrestling figure however much you try to, which obviously we don't want to do. So what I do from here is just stick on back here a little return address in case it gets lost in the post or can't be delivered. And obviously I'm going to write the address. I normally write the address first, but you know, I'm not going to give someone's details out on a YouTube video. So yeah, that is effectively the end of the video. I know it may seem a pointless one, but that example that I showed you with that Sin Cara wrestling figure, the one which, you know, the head I pulled off, effectively, it's not the only time I've had it happen. I'd say roughly out of the sort of bundles or individual figures I've brought off eBay to resell, about 50% of them come just in poly mailers, or, you know, I had one once in an Aldi like sort of laundry pod box, but again, they arrived fine, but they were just sort of loose in there. If that box would have had a big package dropped on it, it just would have crushed the box, and I'd have had, like, you know, shards of plastic, which, you know, if I wasn't careful, or if it was a kid opening it, you could cut your hands open. It's just not something that you want to play around with. So what I'm saying is, it may seem like a pointless video. If you already package your stuff like this, well done you. You know, you've just wasted 10 minutes. I'm really sorry about that. But, you know, if you're someone who's just getting started, or even if you just sell your stuff on the side, just do things properly. Don't just throw things in poly mailers. I mean, these are more expensive than poly mailers, probably. Well, I've worked it out. They cost about 20p each for these boxes. Obviously, poly mailers probably 3 or 4p each. But the point is that if you're going to get returns, or I don't return mine because normally, like let's say for example that Sankara one, I got it as a small bundle. The other wrestling figures were fine and it was still going to be profitable for me, but I did leave bad feedback. Because at the end of the day, if someone else wants to buy from them, they need to know that they're not going to quite get what it is that they've ordered. So yeah, just do it properly. They cost about 20p, but you know, if you go into a supermarket, you know, you're from the UK, US, so let's say you go to Tesco, or you go into Walmart, whatever it is, just ask them for some boxes. You know, you'll get the small ones where, I don't know, they've been storing some like small candles or something. Once they've put them onto the shelves, they've just got this little box that will go, you know, standard Royal Mail size, and you know, you'll still be able to, it might not be quite as sturdy as this, but if you wrap the figure properly and tape it properly, there'll be some sturdiness to it where you think, you know what, there's a 99% chance this is going to get to my customer in one piece, and I'm not going to have to do a refund. I'm not going to have wasted, you know, £3 on postage, and you know, I'm also potentially going to get a positive feedback, but I certainly won't get a negative feedback unless it's something, you know, unrelated that I can't help. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be making more stuff like this, so if you liked it, you know, obviously subscribe. If you could like the video, that would be amazing. And yeah, I mean, if you want to leave in the comments, you know, your worst ever delivery, you know, something you got that was not quite what you expected or packaged awfully, then that'd be interesting to hear. But thank you for watching, and goodbye.